Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at 5 people who became millionaires with early GME stock. Before we start, I want you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Let's get right into it. At number 5, Arzel Rodriguez. Arzel awoke in a panic. Throughout mid-January, he'd risen early in his Hollywood Hills home to monitor the skyrocketing price of GameStop, but calamity almost struck on January 27th. He'd overslept to nearly 11 AM and the shares had already shot through the roof during trading in New York, climbing from $150 the previous day to as much as $380. He feared the untimely snooze might have cost him the chance to sell at those heady levels. It ultimately did not, and he spent the next 25 hours unwinding his position, a sleepless marathon sustained through coffee and peach mango flavored Bang energy drinks. Rodriguez, a 23-year-old software engineer, eventually finished with $3.8 million in his account, up from the $28,000 he put there a few months ago. The GameStop pandemonium that Rodriguez fell into already seems to be one of the strangest and most singular moments in Wall Street history, a time when ordinary investors, taking their cue from an investing tip posted to Reddit, hijacked the publicly traded shares of GameStop, a largely forgotten retailer of video games. They did it partly to stick it to the investors shorting the stock, costing them many billions of dollars when the shares shot up. Their stampede into GameStop sparked a national conversation about access to financial markets after investors found themselves struggling to trade GameStop shares amid the tumultuous trading. Politicians from both parties are using it as an anti-elite, anti-Wall Street rallying cry. As early as next week, Robinhood CEO Vlad Celeb, whose online brokerage was widely used by the Reddit investors, will find himself testifying before Congress about it. At number 4, Kevin Sanzone. Among those lucky few million-dollar winners is 27-year-old Kevin Sanzone, a purchasing manager for a Connecticut-based replacement auto parts retailer. He'd read about GameStop on Wall Street Bets when the forum initially took an interest in the stock last fall and began to buy up shares in November. He added to his holding in December after he found out that Ryan Cohen, the founder of Chewy.com, the pets e-commerce company sold to Amazon, had become a major GameStop investor. That was big, positive momentum, says Sanzone, who invested $140,000, the maximum amount he could stomach losing, into GameStop in 2 months. As shares zoomed skyward in January, Sanzone found himself unable to focus on anything else. It was kind of surreal, he says. It was really tough to focus on work during those couple of weeks. I was just sitting there watching the ticker and looking for any news, so it was definitely distracting. When he sold his shares as they climbed into the $300 mark, he wound up pocketing $1.8 million. At number 3, we have Martin. Martin is the same age as Rodriguez, 23 years old, and has been nursing a dream about going pro in baseball since they were kids in Austin, Texas. He had been up in Seattle recently working out at a facility there, Driveline, where baseball prospects go to improve their skills. But during the pandemic, he decamped for Austin to be around family and picked up some cash working for his parents' real estate brokerage. His stepfather had caught the day trading bug several years back, and he recalls a moment at the family's Florida beach house where his father pulls in $3,000 in one morning while we're sitting on the front porch. I was like, holy shit, what am I doing? For his finance education, Martin took the same path as Rodriguez, lots of YouTube tutorials. He also eagerly took part in discussions on Discord groups devoted to investing. I went balls to the walls with it and really studied. And when he noticed Rodriguez's Instagram posts about GameStop, the two exchanged notes about the company. We went back and forth on it, Martin says, and I just went all in. That meant about $38,000 in savings shoveled into GameStop options, a riskier maneuver than simply buying the stock, beginning when GameStop went for around $100 a share. With Rodriguez's guidance, Martin would trade the options over the course of about 10 days, finally exiting with a $1.3 million windfall. I'm labeling this as a stepping stone and thinking about where I can go from here, says Martin, pondering whether he might follow some family members into real estate investing in Texas. This is an unforeseen opportunity, I'd be childish to blow it. His buddy Rodriguez is eyeing at least one trophy buy, a Porsche, he says, the crazy electric one. That'll probably be my first thing. At number 2, Jaden Carr. One of the big winners was Jaden Carr, a 10-year-old from San Antonio, Texas. Carr wasn't a member of the Wall Street Bets forum. His mother Nina bought him the GameStop stock 2 years ago as a Kwanzaa gift. Jaden's windfall is a big win for the 5th grader, but more importantly, it's a great example of what can happen when parents teach their children about financial literacy. Nina took the time to explain how the market works to Jaden when he was just a 3rd grader, and that knowledge will help guide him through the rest of his life. At number 1, Don Foss. A few Christmases ago, Don Foss, the billionaire who made a fortune in car financing, went to a GameStop store near his Michigan home to pick up a video game for his teenage daughter. I don't know anything about the gaming business or anything like that, admits Foss, 76, but I liked the kid who waited on me. He seemed really knowledgeable. and I liked the deal. It piqued my interest and I started to look at the company. He liked what he saw enough to slowly accumulate a significant stake in GameStop, making him one of the company's largest shareholders. Along with the rest of GameStop's investors, Foss has been taken for a wild ride over the last 2 weeks. The stock engulfed by a once-in-a-lifetime mania, catapulting its shares from $43 to over $400. He spoke with Forbes about the experience, his initial investment thesis, and his decision to stop buying any more GameStop shares. For now, at least. And that's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another amazing video from us. Until next time.